Hi, I'm Augustus, and I'm traveling the United States to show just how serious I am about becoming the president in 2028. I'm here in Juneau, Alaska, my third time visiting this capital city. Here, the towering peaks of the Boundary Ranges meet the deep, icy waters of the Gastineau Channel. The future of Alaska is being forged in the communities of Douglas, the neighborhoods of the Mendenhall Valley, and the local shops of Franklin Street by people who live the last frontier spirit every day. I'm standing at the Alaska State Capitol. This building is unique among state capitals, lacking the traditional dome, yet standing firm with its facade of limestone and Toquine marble. This structure was built to be a functional heart for a rugged land, a centerpiece of brick and pillars meant to represent the enduring strength of the people. It's a tribute to a state that has always looked toward the horizon, from the Tlingit, Haida, and Tsimshian peoples to the pioneers who braved the gold rush. The lofty spirit of Alaska has stalled. Behind the facade of stable monuments, common sense is eroding as families are displaced by systemic indifference. We cannot allow the people who live and work here to be sidelined. To do so is to surrender the heart of our society to an uncaring few. This is the 20th capital of my 50 plus 1 capitals tour, 40% of my journey as of today. My plan seems obvious and necessary to me, but behind me in these halls and for other presidential candidates, it could be considered unnecessary, maybe even outrageous. The plan is to visit every capital in this country over the course of about 60 days, not to give motivational speeches, but to listen. I'm here to hear about the debate over the permanent fund dividend, the opioid crisis that is devastating our communities, and the skyrocketing cost of living that is turning our neighborhoods into a generation of workers struggling to keep up with the millionaire economy. Alaska is a land of breathtaking beauty and a land of hard realities. From the fishermen in the Bristol Bay salmon runs to the workers on the North Slope, this state is built on a tapestry of people who have survived by being more resilient than the Arctic winters. To lead in Alaska, one must respect the diverse voices of the Inside Passage, the deep roots of the miners in the interior, and the modern brilliance of the researchers at the University of Alaska. To be the leader of the whole country, you have to actually know the whole country. You have to breathe in the crisp air of the Tongass National Forest, admire the views along the Pacific Coast Highway, cross the mighty Mississippi, and visit beautiful Smoky Mountains. You cannot lead a people you do not know, and you cannot know the people from inside a high-flying jet, a speeding motorcade, or a gilded office in D.C. Having lived in 7 states and visited all 50 states at least once before, I think I have a glimmer of understanding of who we, the people of the United States, are. But you can never stop learning. That's why I'm visiting each state again and why I will continue to do so both during my campaign and during my time in the office. Now you might be thinking, who is this guy? As I said, I'm Augustus. I was born yesterday, April 8th, in New York State 65 years ago. Like you, I've spent much of my life working. I've seen presidents come and go, and I've seen industries rise and fall. And I've watched as the people who keep this nation functioning, the nurses at Bartlett Regional, the crews clearing the Richardson Highway, and the staff at your local Food Lion IGA are treated like line items, not human beings. You may be asking yourself, is he qualified? The Constitution says I am. For me, being qualified means working as hard as I can to help the most people possible. You need to decide for yourself what qualified means. Think about the people who meet in this capital or in Washington, D.C. How many of them are qualified in your eyes? How many of them are working to make your heating bills manageable or your grocery prices reflect reality instead of a corporate markup? It seems to me that many representatives have forgotten the primary requirement of their jobs, remembering who they represent. They shouldn't represent the lobbyists, they shouldn't represent their party, and they definitely should not represent the ultra-rich. Your representatives and the President of the United States should represent you, period. I stand for the people, not for the corporations that treat employees like disposable parts, not for the rich and ultra-rich who treat the law as a suggestion, and not for the special interests who think their way is the only way. I believe in a land of freedom and opportunity, not a land of skyrocketing rents that push families out of the cities they've called home for generations. Why consider an unaffiliated, unconventional candidate like me? Maybe because you're exhausted. You're sick of having to choose between generic candidate A and generic candidate B, neither of whom has had to decide between a grocery bill and a utility payment. To be clear, the only reason a person who isn't a member of one of the 2 major parties hasn't won the presidency is due to a fear that the worse of the 2 major party nominees will get into the White House. Choose to vote for someone instead of against the other people, which is why we need strong, unaffiliated candidates for the presidency. The motto of Alaska is North to the Future. It's a phrase that speaks to hope for the future. Sadly, it feels like that future is only being secured for the rich and ultra-rich. It's time to ensure that the prosperity of this state reaches the people working 2 jobs just to put food on the table and a roof over their heads. I'm headed to Helena, Montana next. I have many capitals and many miles ahead of me. If you see me in your state, don't just take a picture. Come over and say hello. Tell me what keeps you up at night. Tell me what you want for your children. I'm Augustus, and I'm here to listen. I'll see you on the steps where you live. So this is pretty exciting. This is where I get to go up, where I'm coming from, heading to the Capitol this way. I love stairs. Okay, so it's not a very pretty day here today, but what can you do? This is my new hat, my new scarf. I have my gloves, and it's cold. It's winter. Okay, so let's get the... I was born yesterday. I was born yesterday, April 8th, in New York State, 65 years ago. Waiting for the bus to pass. Hello. Salmon in the Bristol. Okay, where was I? Don't I look warm and toasty?